Hello, and I guess welcome for me. This is the first recording since the start of the channel, and I figured, let's start with something a bit easier. Well, a bit easier just as a warm up, and something easy for me to do while some creative stuff is being worked on in the process. So today we have wit work, where I guess I'll call it wit work for now, but basically, I want to exercise my brain. I, pretty much exercise my brain. So I want to work on logic. I want to do, I don't know, stuff that engages it, because I do not want this thing to be dull. So, starting out, we got logic puzzles. This has been my pastime for very recently, and so I figured, start it with this. So this is just a website, Puzzle Baron's Logic Puzzles. It's free. You don't have to register, even though there's a registration thing up top right. You don't have to. And so, let's get started, shall we? So just for a simple thing of logic puzzles, basically you're given a bunch of statements, and you have to use them in order to cross over information and confirm what statements are true, what statements are false. I'll show you in better detail when we get to a puzzle. So let's start a new puzzle. Okay, so we could determine grid size and difficulty range. Normally, you can see here there's a massive range you could do, 3x4 to 4x7. I normally go for 4x5 for now, but just to make it easier on myself, we'll do a 4x4, since I need to practice thinking while talking and thinking while recording. Difficulty range, easy, moderate, challenging. I normally go for moderate, but make it easy on myself. We'll see if that's true. So let's get started. There's no timer here, so there's no rush to do anything. So hopefully, things go smoothly. So you'll see here, first we have names, law firms, colleges, and dates. And we have a whole thing. They overlap each other, so we have dates and names, dates and law firms, dates and colleges, colleges and law firms, stuff like that. On the right side, we have our active clues. We have a story if you want to read that. So Samantha works to help recent law school graduates find jobs in the legal industry. Using only the clues below, match each of her latest placements to the date they were hired and the name of the law firm that hired them, as well as the school from which they graduated. Ooh, good read. There's also a place here. You can take notes here. You can take notes. Yeah. That's it. So if you're really struggling, that's there to help you. So I guess, let's get started. First clue. Cynthia and the Velas in Yorkshire. One went to Faraday College and the other was hired on March 12th. So here we have kind of two smaller statements within each other. So first is of Cynthia and the Velas in Yorkshire. So this entails that Cynthia and the Velas in York are separate from each other. So this means that Cynthia and Velas in York cannot be together. So the way this grid works is you could click on a square to say that it's not, you could click it again to show that it is, and click it again to cancel it. So we just proved that that's false. Next, Faraday College and March 12th. So one went to Faraday College and the other was hired on March 12th. Since this is an OR option, you cannot go to Faraday College on March 12th, since Cynthia and Velas in York could only go into one or the other. So thus Faraday College, where be it, cannot. No, we want this one up here. Cannot be on March 12th. Simple as that. And then when you're not done with the clue yet. Next, generally, we'd have to see if we could try to find find a truth here. So for instance, can Cynthia be in Faraday College? Yes, it can. Can Cynthia be on March 12th? Yes, it can. So we can't really, well, we don't want to make an assumption since this all could be solved logically. Next is the Velas in New York hire. Once again, do the exact same thing. March 12th, it can. Faraday, it can. So we can't do anything there. So we'll just be done with that. Dismiss the clue for now. You could click back the clue just to get it back, but we'll get it back later. Okay, next one. The Sacred Heart College graduate wasn't hired by Leach and McCall. Okay. So this is a really simple one. It's just not. Sacred Heart graduate? Sacred Heart. Oh, there goes PC. Sacred Heart graduate wasn't hired by Leach and McCall, so Sacred Heart, Leach and McCall. That is not. And we are done with that clue. Cynthia was hired on March 21st. Simple clue. Cynthia, March 21st. This, of course, overlaps with clue 1, where we also talk about Cynthia, but we'll get to that later. Cynthia, March 21st, yep. Okay, the Haynes Incorporated hire was hired 3 days after the Sacred Heart College graduate. Okay, so this is a bit of a different type of statement. So we go to Haynes, 3 days after the Sacred Heart College graduate. So we could prove Haynes is not Sacred Heart because it can't be 3 days after by being Sacred Heart. But this next one's interesting. 3 days after the Sacred Heart College graduate. So you can see here are dates. Be careful when you look at these dates. So it's 12, 15, 18, 21. So they're 3 days apart. So this means that it's only one segment. Sometimes they trip you up with days and they put every 3 days, every 2 days, every 1 day. So what does this show? Haynes saying 3 days after. So since we have only a spread of four sets of 4 days that aren't adjacent to each other, we could say that this cannot be the first one, since it has to be 3 days after the college graduate, the Sacred Heart College graduate. So meaning that Sacred Heart, it can't be first if it's following something. To that same note, Sacred Heart cannot be last because Haynes needs to follow it. So Sacred Heart could only be these 3, and Haynes could only be these 3. And yeah, that's all we could do with that clue for now. Ooh, we got another just true statement. Well, they're all true, but Zachary was hired by Velas in New York. Okay. Simple enough. Zachary, Velas in New York. There we go. Simple as that. Rosalie is the person hired on March 21st or the Leach and McCall hire. Okay, so this shows that Rosalie is either one or the other. So thus, Leach and McCall and March 21st cannot be together. Now, as for Rosalie, looks like Rosalie can't be March 21st based on our grid because Cynthia is on March 21st. So thus, Rosalie is Leach and McCall hire. Which is good to know. I think we're done with that clue. The Albion College is either the Haynes hire or the Dorsey Association hire. Okay. So Albion. It's either Haynes or Dorsey. Albion. What am I doing? Albion. There we go. Haynes or Dorsey. Okay, so we could say that because it's either Haynes or Dorsey, it can't be these two. Okay, now that we've kind of done the basic run through of those clues, now it's time to work on the same clues again. generally we want to pull the complicated ones. Did we get Rosalie? Yes, we did. So yes, get the ones you haven't entirely completed yet, and work through them again. See if any of the previous clues help present clues. So for instance, Cynthia here. So Cynthia was not on March 12th because she's on the 21st, as proven by clue 3. So thus she would go to Faraday College. So Faraday on March 21st. So then on March 21st, Faraday. And we don't have a law firm yet. Okay. Well, we could say that's not Leach and McCall, because Leach and McCall was not on the 21st. And so we could say Faraday was not Leach and McCall. And Cynthia is not Leach and McCall, but we knew that here. Okay, let's see here. Haynes Inc. was hired 3 days after Sacred Heart. Could we do anything more? 3 days after Sacred Heart. Nope, not much we could do there quite yet. And Albion. Oh, Albion. Albion is... Okay, so nothing we could do there. So now it seems like we've kind of... Oh, no, wait. No, we missed one more thing. So Cynthia was on Faraday College, but Bella's in York is on March 12th. So March 12th. There we go. Can confirm that. Completely missed that. Okay, and now, since it seems like we've run through our clues, now we kind of have to go through our grid and see what we can eliminate just logically with our own statements, I guess you'd say. So for instance, Faraday is on the 21st. It cannot be Leach and McCall or Velas in York because they cannot be on the 21st. So Faraday cannot be Velas in York. Here, this Faraday. March 21st, also the same logic, Faraday. Okay, we eliminated that. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh, actually, here we go. How did this happen? So whenever you have a set of 3 and there's 1 left, you could fill that in. I'm completely forgetting what trail of thought led us to this place, but I'll take it. So Land McCall is Rutherford. There, Land McCall is Rutherford, and that means Villa is in York is Sacred Heart. Since Bella's in York is on Sacred Heart is on the 12th. There we go. And then let's see here. Could we do anything else? Bella's in York. Sacred Heart. Rutherford. I can't believe that's everything I see I could do. There might be other things I'm not seeing, but whatever. We'll get there. Names. Okay, we got names, places, Darcy. Now this is the part where I start cutting, because I need to think. Oh, there we go. Clue 4. Haynes was hired 3 days after the Sacred Heart College graduate. 3 days. Haynes. There we go. Leanne McCall is the only one it could go to, and Dorsey is there. Now we got full square. Perfect. Generally this finishes when we get the top 3 squares done. Hopefully I haven't made any mistakes. It won't correct you. Well, actually, down here, you can see you could undo your moves, you could ask for a hint, you could clear errors, start over. If you're in the community, I think they will time you. So using hints will give you a penalty, but since it's casual, well, there's no rush there. Okay, Haynes was 3 days after. Haynes was 3 days after Sacred Heart. Do we have anything under Haynes? No, we do not. Okay, that's unfortunate. Albion College graduate is either Haynes or Haynes or Dorsey? Where's Dorsey? Dorsey's the 21st. Les Albion has to be Haynes. Rutherford has to be March 18th. Okay. And now we got 2 boxes filled. All we need is this one with all the names. So let's see if we could just work our way over there. So Faraday, Cynthia, March 21st, Dorsey Inc. Okay. So that means Haynes is Albion. Haynes, Albion. Cynthia Faraday would be Cynthia Faraday is Dorsey and Haynes. There we go. Haynes would be Haynes, Albion. Albion. No, we can't do that. Oh yeah, Abel was Haynes. Because we see Abel and Haynes. So Haynes, Albion. Am I doing this right? Haynes, Albion, Abel. Something's... Okay, Haynes and Albion are for sure intersecting. So Haynes here, Albion. What? Haynes and Albion. I don't know, my brain's not lining something up. Okay, Abel, Haynes, 15th, 15th. Rosalie and Zachary. Let's see, where would they be? Sacred Heart or March 18th? Sacred Heart is on Zachary's confirmed Sacred Heart. So Sacred Heart goes to Zachary and Rosalie gets March 18th. And now you'll see they'll tell you, hey, you did it. You can submit your answer now, but it might be wrong. Let's clear or see if we messed anything up. Hey, and there are no errors. So yeah, I guess I did it. Okay, sure. That was a lot easier than I expected. Sometimes easy can get a bit tricky, but doesn't seem to be the case. But yeah, guess it's first episode of Whitwork done. Perfect. I don't know how to end these. Just you hang up.